Art would not be important if life were not important. And life is important. James Baldwin.
We're the oldest queer and feminist bookstore still around.
Okay.
We weren't necessarily the first one that was ever established, but a lot of them, didn't make it when bookstores went away. And so 11 years ago, when we would have gone that way, Philly AIDS Thrift bought the place, which allows us to be at our core what we always were, a queer and feminist bookstore, but to get to expand to have all this other stuff that we have. And we use all of it to raise money for people living with HIV/AIDS.
I love that.
The entirety of Queer Philly at some point walks through those doors, and we get to be sweet to them. We get to help them find what they need. And at the end of the day, we're going to be raising money for people who are in need of it. Tonight's event is celebrating the work of 3 queer artists, but really it's just about bringing our favorite people to the room, and then people that we don't even know to the room, so we get to spend time with them, so that they come and partake in what we have, spend time in the space.
It's awesome to see people, especially like post-COVID, getting out in person and actually interacting with each other. I think there's so much of that like in that 2-year chunk of time that sort of like people forgot how to do almost. And I think like anything that gets us off our phones, off the internet, off AI, off like just being alone on the couch, I think is important. And I think any little thing, like whether it be art or a meal or a movie or anything like that, that's kind of like the bait that like would draw people into being together and remembering how to be human with each other. And I think that's as important now as it's ever been. You hope when you're like organizing an event that like one person that shows up has like a feeling like that leaving it, like, oh yeah, like I want to do that or whatever.
So this show today is showcasing your art. Can you tell us a little bit about you as an artist and your artwork?
The stuff that I make is usually pretty abstract, but I used my abstract work in a sort of representational way this time. I took some pages from a really old book that was falling apart, and then I changed those pages to tell a different story from what they would have said to begin with.
I like really old movies. Like I like the Twilight Zone, the TV show and stuff. So that kind of like eerie, uncanny feeling are like, that's just right where I want to sit with the stuff that I make.
I've been making art for my whole life. It's not something I've professionally pursued before, but it's something that I will never, ever, ever stop doing in any capacity. I do not have like a specific medium I work in. I paint, I write, I sew. I feel like I'm quite crafty in that way, like a jack of all trades and a master of none kind of thing. But I don't know, I feel similarly to art making as I do art consuming, if you will, whereas like if everything else in the world has gone to shit, if everything is failing, I will always read a book, I will always watch a movie, I will always like carry a notebook on me kind of thing.
Can you start off by describing Giovanni's room and how it impacts you as a person?
Well, what's so important to me personally about Giovanni's room is that it's this space where I get to be in public and my full self, right? Like, it's almost like I'm being paid to come here and be my full self, right? I love all the people that I work with, and we get to listen to the music that we want to, and yeah, I just get to be myself, and it feels like my safest place outside of my home.
You can be a kid growing up in the city and kind of wander your way here and figure out what you need to figure out without the internet and asking questions and being perceived, etc.
When I first came here, the people were very nice and like very welcoming, and it just like felt like they were very genuine, where I feel like you don't always get that at like the chain bookstores. I think the art is really cool. Like it just feels like very personalized, like you're almost in someone's home. And yeah, I think everyone here kind of has like a similar energy where they're just like want to be comfortable, want to connect, and just like feel like themselves.
But no, I was just thinking like their comment about having a safe space to work in like this day and age and how it's important, and I can't agree more. I cannot agree more, because I was literally just thinking about that. Like as someone like currently working in like corporate America as like my full-time job, as a queer woman, there are moments where I'm just like I feel like I could have had like I wish that there was a place within my like work environment where I could just like be myself 100%. You know what I mean? But I was saying. Okay, so you mentioned that you've been to Giovanni's room before. You love it. Can you let us know like what is it about this space that you love?
I feel like it's just nice to be in a space that's like safe for like people in the queer community, and like you just know you go there and you're gonna just feel comfortable. I also love reading, so sometimes it's nice to just come and just like sit in a corner and read a book, and more times than not I meet new people here too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
For me, I've been coming here, I'm not even old, and I've been coming here quite a long time. In my short lifetime of queerness, and it's a place I can always go to hang out. I think it serves as like a sober queer place for a lot of people in the community.
As a trans woman living in 2025, it's super important to me to have this place where I get to make my living, where I get to make money to pay my rent, and I get to feel safe. And not only that, I get to feel celebrated. And yeah, that's a super important thing to have right now that not everybody has, and I'm super grateful for it.
I think anything that spaces like this, when they're acting in alignment with like their purpose, I think that's the takeaway that we should leave people with, is that yeah, it's worthwhile to leave the house, it's worthwhile to go to stuff, and it's worthwhile to like interact. But I think there are just so many great artists, so many great queer artists in Philly, and I mean, we have such a cool, weird place here, and yeah, why not just bring in more and more and more people and highlight them and showcase what they do.
Everybody's really happy that this store exists, including us here. We think about it all the time and how much we are grateful for it. So.